Just remember, Durst is the worst.
Durst the worst, bitch.
Yeah, go to the source. I want to know what you have to say because I don't trust them. I would never trust the PBs. They've been funding themselves by taxing people's television viewing. So would you ever go back?
There's the Dave Rubin interview too, I believe.
Would you ever go back to Singapore? No, you're done.
Yeah, go back.
No, I know that's how it is. So I just picked the United States.
Well, we're not letting you take down the place.
What?
Interest.
Interest in the United States. Why'd you pick Chicago as the port of entry?
Dude's gonna be a Milwaukeean. Are you gonna be a Milwaukeean?
Like another place in Illinois.
Chicagoan, maybe Waukegan, maybe Urbana.
Why you wanted to go to Illinois? Who did you know in Illinois? Why Illinois? It's losing population, people are leaving the state of Illinois. So you met a scientist who offered you a free place.
Honestly, if somebody from Chicago offered me a free house in that,
Well, I would say this would probably be a serial killer, but John Wayne Gacy. I mean, Chicago is a violent city for bizarre.
The Midwest has produced a lot of the most notorious ones.
Yeah, if a stranger in Chicago offers you a place, I would say run. Okay, and that's a guy at the University of Illinois in Champaign-Urbana. So did you hear about your story? There you go. Okay, so that makes perfect sense. Have you found a lot of support from other people in the United States? Sure. Okay. So the interest comes from the fact that you got a lot of support online through the internet where it problems in the Republic of Singapore. Why Sounds good. So why wouldn't they let you speak today?
No cavalcades.
Scheduled for speaking. I was just we were going to attend.
Wait, they wouldn't even let you attend? I thought you were speaking too.
We were told by the people who were running that. That's why we're talking to you.
Lawrence, yeah.
Yeah, Lawrence. Lawrence, what's his
Lawrence Ufa from the Milwaukee Atheists. Yeah.
No idea about that.
Okay, so the story's changed. So their story was that you weren't allowed to speak and that you were a scheduled speaker. So they were banning you from entering the theater.
Yeah.
How did they know who you were? How did they recognize you? Well, there's a lot of people on BBC. I don't know.
But it ties into the whole like skepticism sphere. Like he was critical of, you know, religion and faced consequences, so it ties into the whole theme of the event, I guess.
So you're critical of all religions in the Republic of Singapore? Sure. You don't like all the Hindus, all the weird, creepy evangelical Christianity that's popular amongst the Chinese majority. Yeah. Why is evangelical Christianity so popular amongst the ethnic Chinese majority in Singapore?
Is it?
Yeah, it is. It's a very Christian island. It's very.
Why is Christianity popular? Period.
But I wonder why it's popular with people who come from a Southeast Asian, overseas Chinese Confucian background. What are your thoughts on that? Why has evangelical Christianity become so sort of popular amongst the Chinese in Southeast Asia? %17% of the country is Christian. It's pretty a lot. That's a huge population for Southeast Asia.
That's big enough for you. Just like every other spreads. It doesn't repeat.
It's something, I mean, Taiwan isn't 17% Christian, I don't think. I don't think Japan is. I don't think the People's Republic of China is. What's going on in the Republic of Singapore that the Chinese population has become so Christian? Because it's weird, I find it disturbing. Why would you, if you're a Southeast Asian ethnic Chinese who's lived, your family's probably lived on the island of Singapore or in the former Malay states of the British Empire for hundreds of years, maybe 500, maybe 600 years, that you'd be attracted to a religion that comes from the sandbox of the Middle East, where you worship the sacrifice of a possibly deranged Jewish preacher who says that he was sent to Earth by an imaginary sky fairy who only talks to him in these sand beams. How does that resonate with a Chinese person? Because why didn't God have revelations with the Chinese? There's so many more of them.
No idea. That's like your question.
Dude, well, Jesus is a 20th level cleric, to put it in Dungeons and Dragons terms.
He would seem not to have any resonance with Chinese people.
In
Singapore, there's this Christian population. Did you ask people before you were running into trouble with the authorities, like on the street, like, why are you a Christian? Why are you embracing this alien Middle Eastern?
Yeah, I don't know why that door is like that.
And you think the Singaporean government promotes it? Then why are they? Well, they are by defending it by saying you can't criticize it.
I thought, from what I heard about Singapore, that it unofficially was a secular state, so they didn't really carry it.
But then why are they punishing you for criticizing what people believe?
You're not. Yeah, you're not allowed to legally. You can't criticize.
Maintain your, safety.
It's like obscenity laws, kind of, but really extreme.
So they fear that there'll be ethnic conflict between all of the diverse religious groups in the Republic if someone becomes critical of what they believe.
Yeah.
But don't they understand that the religions themselves are critical of each other? So that if you say you're Muslim, you are inherently critical of the Hindus.
But you don't.
What?
But the Jews and the Catholics as well.
Go on, there's many examples.
Yeah, but you don't air their opinions publicly. And that's the difference. That's about it.
So there's no public debate in which people say, look, we need to have it. No.
I mean, and there are like hate speech laws. I mean, other countries have flirted with that concept too. Like Canada or like Germany.
The UK as well.
So you think a lot of it comes from the inheritance of the British Empire, or do you think a lot of it comes from the People's Action Party of Lee Kuan Yew?
No idea.
I have no idea.
In terms of the why, the religions are spread out like that. No idea.
Do you think that there'll be another generation of the Lee family that rises to political dominance on the island?
It's already
You think
run by the sun.
Yeah, but do you think it'll be run by the son's children?
I don't think so.
You don't
They
think so?
seem like they're interested in politics. Even when your daddy died.
So you don't think that Singapore has a dynastic tendency to its current political structure? They do, yeah.
Just maybe not as bad as other countries.
Well, that's,
North Korea is a whole.
Yeah.
But it's clearly in its last generation. Most of that Kim family's been weeded off by the military. I think it's pretty much a military junta using the fat kid with the bad haircut as a veneer so that the world doesn't see that it's actually run by the generals. I think most of his family's been, the ones that he had assassinated or executed, I think were done away by the military so that he would be completely isolated from his kin group.
The future will tell.
Yeah, we'll see. I think probably the Russians and the Chinese will knock the North Koreans state over and leave the South Koreans and the United States with the task of unifying the peninsula, which I think they'll fail at. I think that's kind of the plan, to bring South Korea into the Russian-Chinese sphere as a result of having them have to deal with 24 million North Koreans.
Right.
So I guess, why wouldn't they let you come in? In the theory?
Why? These have been controversial opinions on age of consent. I think it should be reduced to 14-year-olds fucking adults. I think it's perfect.
So basically you think pubescence?
Yeah, and they're still considered children. But then they misrepresented my views and said I wanted to justify abusing children. Yeah.
So what you did say is you think when someone's post-pubescent that they should be...
No, whatever age which you would consider them able to consent.
I mean, I know the United States age of consent is 18, but there's other countries such as Germany where the age of consent is, I believe it's either 14 or 16.
And 16 in Canada, formerly 14.
Yeah.
But you don't think, so you didn't argue that pubescence should be the age of consent or the time of consent. You said it should be any time.
Yeah.
That's a very
So
strange.
just for
8-year-olds should consent to be engaging in sexual activity?
They actually consent, sure.
That's a very unpopular view.
But yeah, the younger they are, most likely they'll be raped. But there are already rape laws to punish them, so,
There are rape laws. That's correct.
I'm not saying, remove rape laws.
Right. You're saying keep the rape laws.
Of course.
You're saying just remove the age.
Yeah.
So get rid of all statutory rape and move the age down to whatever age the person is who verbally consents.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, if it's not verbal, then there's no evidence that they consented.
No, person, consent.
So once someone is charged and arrested, and the victim comes forth, you think on trial or in a testimony to the authorities, they should say, yes, I consented to sexual activity. And then everything should be okay.
Based on the evidence. Really, that's not the case.
Okay, so by case basis.
Yeah, like every, rape cases do.
Well, you can avoid having a rape case and just video records it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that's the simplest, yeah.
So you think basically everything it's safer if we just all make porn?
Everybody
Yeah.
Everybody should make that.
Well, if you record it, you have a record of it, then really we have objective evidence as to whether or not someone consented or not. So in a sense, what you're saying is porn prevents people from being charged with rape or. You're not saying.
Well, I don't know. You'd have to have 24-hour recording because they could have coerced them off camera. You don't know.
Right. So
you'd
that would more advocate for body cams for everybody.
No, I think
just record everything.
Yeah, record everything. Stream it. There's plenty of bandwidth in which to upload every single.
Just record everyone at all times.
At all
okay.
times. Just be a walking.
I've been doing that today.
Yeah, just be a walking self-propelled objective data accumulator. There's nothing wrong with that.
Doing that for Mythcon.
Yeah, no one can ever call you a liar. Just hit rewind, play. Okay, so what you said was that there should be no age of consent. And that's the most controversial thing I've heard in a long time. Because most people say pubescence. And that's controversial, but I think biologically understandable as a moment of adulthood. Yeah. But you say take it prepubescent. Wow. Edgy.
It seems logical enough for me. Because if a 7-year-old, if he has sex, he'll most likely be raped because he probably isn't young enough to consent. So he'll already be charged with rape. If somebody, files a release report.
So it's more of a case of if you already have laws that prevent this or have to be sort of why add additional laws to books and all of that.
Why add additional laws?
Basically. That would be what would make consent law would be the entire thing rather than laws against sexual assault.
I definitely think that viewing anything, whether it's because many people have this, they discriminate against people who maybe are sexually attracted to children. Maybe they don't act on it. But people who are sexually attracted to children, I don't think it's nice to be mean to them.
You don't think it's nice to be mean to them?
Yeah.
I would say people who are sexually attracted to children suffer from a severe mental disorder. That person is not biologically capable of reproducing. So what you're attracted to is something that is.
It's just different.
No, it's not just different. It's not just different. You're trying to prey upon a human being's person. There's no reason to engage. No sane person would want to engage in sexual activity with someone who's not capable of sexual reproduction. That's not even common, in history.
And actually, no, there is one pretty famous case.
Well, you can always find.
The Prophet Muhammad and his 9-year-old.
Right, he was attracted to prepubescent children. I'm saying.
So nobody.
It's not normal. In any point in history, it's not. Right?
So nobody would want to have sex with somebody who can't reproduce.
I would say, I'm just saying, if you look at history, if you look at the historical record, societies across the world, human societies across the world, do not take kindly or have not historically taken kindly to human beings who have wanted to engage in sex with prepubescents. It's not something that, regardless of religious background, people have advocated. That's a power, control, harm act that you're advocating in most people's minds.
But if people want to have sex with people who can't reproduce, it's fine, right?
Well, we're not necessarily talking here about transgender people or being asexual. It's more the entire thing with either heterosexuality, which would be attraction to pubescence, or pedophilia, which would be the attraction to those two
So we're not arguing like whether it's 16 or 17 or pubescence is the age of consent. You're saying that people who say, yes, I was okay with what happened, should be engaging in sexual activity. I think that leads to an extremely dangerous predatory society.
Because we still have rape laws.
Yeah, but they have to be proven with evidence. So what if, how easy is it to get a child drunk?
Too easy.
Exactly.
I know because I was a child of the public.
There you go. So it doesn't take much for a predator to prey upon someone who doesn't know that they were raped when they're that small, that young, and prepubescent. It's an added layer of protection against the predator, against the psychopath.
Yeah, and depending on the case, I guess.
But
the court, if somebody files a police report that a 7-year-old was drunk, you decide whether or not it's, whether the 7-year-old consents. Like, 17-year-olds who get drunk and then they get supposedly raped.
I think there's a whole lot of difference in neurological development between a 7-year-old and a 17-year-old.
Sure.
Okay, well you acknowledge that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you acknowledge that the 17-year-old post-pubescent brain is different
Yeah,
from the
well, the judge, I guess you could, consider that.
To be technical, the brain is technically pubescent until an average between 21 and 25, because that's when the frontal lobe finally finishes development.
That is correct. But it's still different.
Legally, though.
Yeah. And neurobiologically, there is objective difference between the 7-year-old brain and the 17-year-old brain. You are correct. Frontal lobe development doesn't stop until a quarter century has passed. Yeah, okay. Just some very controversial views.
It is, and I'm just stuck on the fact that, just you believing that was enough for them to not let you attend. So, does that mean that if I were standing outside espousing that view and then I tried to go buy a ticket, would they just not let me in? If
apparently,
potentially,
the evidence says they won't sell
if I just so happen to even maybe even jokingly or jovially saying that outside the event, would they just like, oh, I'm sorry, sir, you at this free speech centered event, you can't espouse that here. That's just kind of odd to me. Especially since you're not a speaker, which I thought you originally were.
We were told that you were a speaker that had been refused.
Yeah, I too thought I was a speaker. And not good.
They're not good at communication. Wasn't there a list of people who were assigned to speak?
Yeah, and I wasn't on that list, but they said that I was a speaker. Yeah. And I found out I wasn't.
Even though you were never given like an email confirmation of you being on an official speaking list.
I was never done. They said I was like on their Twitter. Not like messages.
Very weird.
I'm just not allowed to attend at all.
Oh, is this a lifetime thing? Could you sort of...
Probably. Thinking like Mythcon is like, seems pretty small.
It may be small, but it's one for venues that's allowed to have to go live. So it is one of very few face-to-face conversations where there's some things going on. Honestly, it might be actually worth it to try and get into contact with them to see what sort of details this entails. Like, is this a lifetime thing, or could you apply to be a speaker next year or a couple of years down the line?
Not a big deal. If it becomes a big deal, maybe I'll consider that. But it's a con with a few hundred people. So,
even VidCon at one point in time only like a couple of people.
Yeah, comes to popular, which looks like some.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, but you've never engaged in sex with people?
No.
Not your thing. Then why would you espouse views that like didn't affect you personally?
I just thought it was like when I was like 16, I'm like, am I allowed to have sex?
But you are. You can have sex with other 16-year-olds.
No, I don't think so. I still underage.
That's not underage. You can engage in sexual activity with another person of the same age, I believe, in the Republic of Singapore. So in the Republic of Singapore, yeah, I believe so. And when you're 16 in Singapore, you can have sex with another 16-year-old.
What about in America?
You can do that too. It's legal.
But not now.
But not what?
But not now.
Not somebody over the age of 18 until you're 18.
Well, that's the problem.
Okay. So you like the Canadian model, which was like 14, up until very recently, which is now 16? It's better. So you're just trying to get it all the way down. It's a very weird social movement you're trying to achieve.
Not a social movement.
That's a social movement, getting people to believe that what you're espousing is like normal and healthy, even though like there's like thousands of years of like human civilization that's saying what you're advocating is not, and it's actually destructive to society.
There is actually a social movement that is trying to do that. It's primarily, well, several groups. One is known as NAMBLA, but that's specifically trying to reduce the age of consent in terms of men and boys, which is pretty messed up.
That's the most predatory organization, probably.
But there is also another one which was by Parts Progress, which is really trying to tackle the LGBT movement, trying to add another piece to the alphabet soup that's on top. And that's also trying to kind of reducing and ridding age consent to allow what they've shown to be is more predatory. I guess that's part of where the confusion comes in terms of why people react the way they do.
Oh, regardless, like they're kicked out. Yep.
So what are you doing for a living?
Even with the adpocalypse and everything, like holy shit. You're not getting paid nothing. You trying to, or you have? Like, have you gotten a steady Patreon type thing? Like, I've tried with that, but you know.
We'll see. Alright.
Shit's difficult to. She looks cool. She looks like Ripley.
Yeah, like the bunny back time. They probably were not at the Mythcon.
Yeah, they were.
See you guys around.
Alright.
Just remember, Durst is the worst.
Subscribe, bitch!